Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Our Old Farmhouse. Today we're outside a little bit early trying to get our chores done because in about the next half hour we are going to have a commercial rototiller delivered here at our house, so that way we can work on getting the rest of our garden beds kind of rototilled up and all set for planting here in the next couple of weeks. Now, as you can kind of see behind me, we still have a little bit of a mess going on. Put down some more peat moss the other night. Been working on over here our tomato garden bed and our pepper garden beds, and I want to get the rest of that rototilled up. Now, we wouldn't normally be rototilling every single year. If you were with our channel at the beginning of last year, we did some rototilling. Unfortunately though, the area back here that we were rototilling in actually flooded with about 1.5 to 2 feet of water. And then right after that, the water dropped down, it got really hot, and we experienced kind of some drought-like conditions out here, which meant that that ground back there was so packed down that even with a commercial rototiller, we were not able to get it all dug up in a condition that we would find acceptable for gardening. So hopefully this year, we're gonna get that done. But before we can work on that, I gotta get up and I gotta get as many chores as possible done. Now, I don't know if I already said this, but it is freezing cold outside. Right now, it's about 36, 37 degrees. Last night, it dropped down to like the mid-20s out of nowhere. I checked the weather right before going to bed, and that wasn't anything that we were expecting. So thank God, with our greenhouse, the automatic timer clicked in, and the heat turned on in there, so that way we didn't lose anything. I haven't checked it out just yet. I've only checked on our smart camera to make sure that the temperature is all set in there, and it was about 65, 70 degree range, so we are good there. But I'm gonna get up, check on our turkeys, collect eggs, and then I'm gonna give the chickens some treats here to hopefully quiet them down, because these girls are pretty loud already this morning. You know, they love the attention. Hey girlies. Some scratch. There you go. Now, I can't remember if I showed this off in any of our other videos, but recently we installed here a second door for our chicken coop area, and I can see they knocked some stuff down in there. But I wanted to be able to open up this door here to let some air in, and also with us moving the turkeys back to where the chickens were and the chickens in here, the issue is every time that we'd open the door, especially with the kids, the chickens would try to run out. So this has helped out quite a bit. Before I go in there, alright, so now that I have our egg basket, I'll go ahead and get those eggs collected. We do still have a couple of hens that have been extremely broody. It was kind of funny, when we moved around in here, we moved the chickens off to the side, they were chasing out all the other hens in here, and they were looking for some eggs that they had just happened to have been sitting on at that time. So I'm doing my best to keep them up off the ground. They did really like going underneath our nesting boxes and laying underneath there, so I did put some bricks under there to keep that, but I can already see it looks like one's been laying some eggs down here, one or two of them. So let's open up and see what we got here this morning. It's kind of hard to do with a camera, but what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8 out of the first one. 2 more out of the second. They're coming to check on me, and it looks like 3 more. So 13 eggs this morning out of our basket. Which is pretty good for this early in the morning. Like I said, it's just before 8 a.m. So that's not the end of their laying day. I generally find that most of them have laid what they're going to lay by about 1 p.m. So I'll grab the 2 that are down here. We'll add those over to our basket, and we'll get out of here for these girls. And it's funny, I almost forgot to tell you guys, we got 4 blueberry plants here planted about a week ago. I did not cover these up last night because I didn't know about the cold weather, but they do seem to be looking like they are perfectly fine. Let's see if I can get the focus a little better. I don't see any wilted leaves. I see some areas where it's looking like some flowers are ready to open up on this, so not too worried. But just kind of in the meantime, right after I got these planted, I did go ahead and I put some chicken wire up, and I just stapled it to some little 1x1s and put it on the other side of our greenhouse. And really it does help out with it being on this side of our greenhouse, because what is happening is the sun is shining through and it is warming this area up pretty early in the morning. It's not staying cold for hours on end, and it's getting a lot of sun back here. And if it becomes too much of an issue in the summer, I can put up some foam board in there to kind of block that intense sun from coming through. But I do think that this is a really great spot, and these plants, I don't know, seem to be enjoying it so far. I mean, like I said, they've been in here for about a week, and they've already grown probably close to an inch. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, now it's time to complete my favorite task of the day, which is checking our greenhouse. As you guys can see, the tree cuttings here are doing really exactly the same as what they were doing before. Kind of moving down the line, our cantaloupe and cucumbers are doing phenomenal. We have some random kind of peppers and tomatoes there. I see the tomatoes are turning a little bit purple and kind of pointing in an upward direction. So I did add a little bit of some bone meal to it, and hopefully that will correct that pretty quickly. But it's just, 5 plants there, so I'm not too worried if we run into any issues. We have flowers down there, some more tomatoes down there, which I'm not quite sure we'll save. We have some parsley. Let's see, it looks like all parsley down there. Mostly basil and oregano there. More flowers down here. Jumping down to this side, those are all of our homestead variety tomatoes. We have all different kinds of peppers growing. We have Roma tomatoes down here. These are, let's see, I can't remember. I think it's like zucchini, pumpkins, more pumpkins, and then some kind of late season cabbage. This is actually a pallet of cabbage that we bought from Chesaning High School's. They had a event going on where they were selling plants that their ag class grew. So we got that for really cheap. And then Chris also, she got, I know, some basil, a bunch of different kinds of flowers. And then I did get a couple of beefsteak tomato plants. There's 2 of them there. And I figured might as well add them in with everything else that we're growing, and heck, it supports a great program out there. So was super excited to get those. And then as for our different trees and our vines back here, they all seem to be doing really, really well. So no worries there. These Concord grapes up there, they're even getting some new growth on them. But I did have it dry out a little bit the other day, so was able to get them some water, added some nutrients to them, and they are doing great. So overall, like I said, favorite task of the day is checked off. I don't have to water them. Got them taken care of last night, so just a quick check and we are all set. And checking these guys out here, I can see we have a lot of onions popping up, so excited to see that. And over here for carrots, I was kind of getting worried until I noticed this last night, kind of sprouting up. And then it's still too early on our garlic, and we still got to get the rest of that area dug out. And then, like I said, our goal for today is to really get all of this back here and over rototilled. So hopefully we'll have one kind of larger bed there. You ready to help as soon as it arrives, Amelia?
Kind of.
Kind of?
I'm tired still.
Yeah, it's pretty early still.
Yeah, why did you wake me up in the morning, Dad?
I didn't. You woke me up.
No, I didn't.
Amelia here busted into my bedroom this morning to let me know that Atlas had woke her up and had gotten a sucker and some candy. So Atlas came into our room with a sucker, so I had to take that away, and she laid in our bed for like 2.5 hours until finally she fell asleep, and now she's inside sleeping, and we're outside getting ready for chores, right?
Yeah.
Well, really, chores are done, so it's really just waiting on the rototiller.
Rototiller? Okay. Last night I had to literally listen to him do that.
second garden bed is now completed, and I'm going to start moving on to our third bed, which was covered up over winter. This is where we grew our gourds at last kind of fall, late summer, early fall. And we had a lot of success in this area. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get that one work done next. I don't think I'm going to record it. And then after that, I have a couple of smaller beds, then one of our main tomato lanes, and then then a second tomato lane over here, and then we'll keep working our way up. All right, guys, well, we're going to take a break from rototilling here for a few minutes. Amelia and I, we got to take a break to run where?
To go to my sister's school.
We got to go pick up Vivian, who's been doing a plant sale over at the high school. So once we get her picked up, we'll get back here to the house and we will give you guys an update on the progress we've made so far. Now, Vivian, is really excited because her FFA class hatched chick eggs, and she's hoping that she can bring some home. So I told her we'll check it out when we get there, and we'll see what's going on. And other than that, we will check in once we get back, right, guys?
Uh-huh. And I'm trying to eat my lunch over here, too.
Yeah, make sure that you stay tuned for Thursday's video to see Amelia's secret. What was it called?
Lunch.
Well, what kind of lunch was it?
It's a quesadilla with leftover rice and meat.
Yep. So make sure you stay tuned for Amelia's secret quesadilla with leftover rice and meat recipe. All right, guys. Well, I am pretty much done rototilling for today. I got to get that rental back here in the next little bit. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys what progress I've made so far today before I end the vlog. It is getting incredibly hot outside. All the work I've been doing, I still have to mow the lawn, and I still have some chores up around the house to do. So I'm going to call it, done here in just a moment. Before I do that, let's take a look. So this here is going to be the garden bed for our corn. As you can see, it's quite large. I want to say it's approximately 25 foot wide by approximately 75 feet long. We got that completely rototilled out. Like I said a moment ago, I went through and I put about 400 pounds of a manure compost mix in there, along with some other micronutrients that'll help that out quite a bit. Moving over to the other side, these here used to be a handful of smaller beds. I did go through and kind of combine them into one. I'm not quite sure what's going to go here. It might be our cabbage, but again, not 100% sure. Maybe our peppers on this point. Over here, I got this small section here, rototilled out. This was originally going to be for peppers, I think, but not quite sure. Might change my mind on that. This one here, though, is going to be for tomatoes. I still got a little bit of work left to do in this bed right here, and as you can see, kind of had this giant root down here that I'm going to have to rip out. The rototiller got that pretty good, but I think this is going to be a second tomato bed here. Moving down the line, you guys can see this is our primary tomato bed, which is pretty much completely done. It's we got some really good soil in there. It's really soft. It's got a lot of peat moss in there mixed in. We've really been working on this, a lot of compost in there. I got a little bit on that section down there that I do want to finish up. But other than that, that bed is completely ready. I'm going to use industrial agricultural cover for this once I do get things planted, just like I do right over there in the strawberry bed, so that should help out quite a bit. Then just past that bed is this bed right here. Not quite sure what's going to go in there. I was thinking peppers, but if I bump peppers over into that one over there, that won't need to be an overflow anymore for peppers, so I might be able to put something else in there. And then just kind of taking a look around, I know we'll have our corn there. I'm thinking cabbage, I'm thinking peppers, tomatoes, not quite sure what that's going to be. Those right there are strawberries. I still got to finish ripping that out. That's going to be some more root crops like onions, things like that. This one here I got to do a little bit of work on. I can get this with my little rototiller though. And that one, along with, let's see, number 1, number 2, and number 3, those are all going to be for herbs like basil, parsley, things like that. So that is it for today out here. I do know that I still have to work on finding a spot for our grape bushes. I'm not quite sure. I really don't like this thing right here that we put together, Amelia and I did last season. I might do something out of wood with that and put them there. Again, not 100% sure, but that is an awful lot of work for today, and I still have tons of other chores to do. So I'm going to end the vlog here. If you guys liked what you seen today, please make sure to subscribe. As a reminder, once we do hit 500 subscribers, we are giving away a brand new GoPro. So make sure that you haven't already subscribed to the channel just so you can stay kind of up to date on alerts for that. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.